Hello and welcome to the Vetter discussion. My name is Ryan. We have a fantastic show lined up for you today. Today we're going to talk about what to look out for as the pre-sale is approaching, as the pre-sale goes live, different positive things to look for and watch out for, but also some potential red flags to look for and watch for, and basically how to navigate the actual pre-sale process. Hey, welcome to the call. Glad that you're here again. My name is Ryan. I'm so glad to be your host today and so grateful. I'm really in a space of gratitude this afternoon, just thankful to be a part of this community, thankful to be working with people from all over the world, and man, just so thankful overall. Now, this is a interactive call, so if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand and I'll unmute you, or drop your questions in the comment section and we'll get your questions answered that way. Now, whether you are a veteran in our community or you're brand spanking new, today I'm going to show you how to best utilize, hands down, the best research tool, which is a Vetter platform to help you find your next 2x, 10x, 100x, and beyond. Now, if you're watching this right now and you don't hold Vetter tokens, and you don't know what Vetter is and why there's so many people excited and how these people are getting the results that we're getting, I invite you to go visit vetter.ai. You're going to be able to see exactly what we're doing, why it's such a big deal, and what the Vetter platform is all about. Now, before we jump into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Ryan, and my wife and I, we live in Oklahoma, and I've been thankful and grateful to be a part of the Vetter community since early October. Now, just real quick, go ahead and drop in the chat how long you've been a part of the Vetter community. I always like to see, who all we have on the line. We have veterans, we have brand new people, we have people from, a month ago, brand new people as in today, literally just now. And so no matter how long you've been a part of the community, whether it's been since, February of 2022, whether it's been since early October or August or since inception, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to the best place in the crypto space to find pre-sales, but also something that we like to call CI. What is CI? CI is crowdsourced intelligence. Now, you may have heard of AI, which is artificial intelligence, but what we've done at Vetter, we've combined AI, artificial intelligence, with CI, crowdsourced intelligence. And that's one of the things I absolutely love about this platform. The ability to collaborate and communicate and build relationships and friendships with people from all over the world with the common goal of sharing ideas and thoughts and insights into a variety of crypto projects, being able to get in early, being able to get in before the masses, being able to hear upcoming launches that you would not normally find. That's the value of what we have in the Vetter community. Now, the Vetter platform is a research tool. Okay, a Vetter platform is a research tool. Okay, it is a tool for you to utilize to help you find crypto pre-sales, private sales, fair launches, and other projects like that. Now, again, it's a tool. Okay, now, in order to get the most out of the tool, you get to know how to best utilize the tool. And that's what these videos are for. These videos go into detail about how to use certain aspects of the platform to help you maximize and get the full benefit of the Vetter platform as a tool. Now, I will say, again, it's a tool. And the reason I keep saying that is because people often ask, they come in and they say, hey, show me the next 2x, show me the next 10x. And that's not what this is about. What this is about is you utilizing the tool for you to help you uncover that next 2x, that next 10x, that next 100x. We have gains happening every single day on the platform. People are winning all over the world. And the people who know and have learned and taken the time to utilize the tool are the ones who are getting massive results. So yes, there are massive results happening on the platform, but it comes down to you knowing how to utilize the tool effectively and efficiently. Now, I will say, I am not a financial advisor. Anything that I say on today's call is not financial advice, okay? Everything I'm doing is supporting you and learning how to use a Vetter platform. And if anything, I'm dropping my intent rather, is to drop some gold nuggets as far as the head game goes and the mindset goes so it can better help you on your crypto journey. Now, before we dive into the platform, and before we start looking at some projects, and before we start looking into some things that we want to look for as the pre-sales are happening, I do want to mention that there's been some really great announcements that have come out over the last couple of days. I just want to read this briefly. Okay, you can find these in our main Telegram group. But as you know, Vetter buy tax was taken down to 1% a couple of weeks back. The plan was announced that we would start taking the sell tax down incrementally. So it is at 1% or at or shortly after the launch of a new Launchpad token. Note that the sell tax has now been reduced by 2%, so it's now at 17% instead of 18%. We will continue reducing this until it's at zero. When it's at zero, there will no longer be buy or sell tax for Vetter token, and there will be no wallet-to-wallet transfer tax at that point. This is in preparation for getting Vetter listed on the larger CEX. I don't believe it's zero, but I think it's going to be 1%. But website launch. As you know, the new Launchpad token is set to launch soon. As discussed, the exact launch date will greatly be determined by the release date of the website. We've been anticipating receiving the first version of the website today, not the design we completed a few weeks ago, but the actual developed site online. As soon as we see this from the dev, it is expected that there will need to be correction, as always is the case, but that we should be able to address any issues quickly to take the site fully live shortly. We'll keep you posted. If I don't give an update, it means I am waiting for one for the dev, expecting one any moment. Okay. Pre-sale success track record in a bear market. Some of the greatest returns we saw with the pre-sale launches was during the crypto downturn last year in early summer of 2021. Volume 1 of Everrise, for example, launched last year in June when Bitcoin had been dropping to its lows for the year. Everrise did multiple 10Xs upon the open. There were many projects we participated in during that time that did the same. When there isn't a lot of excitement in the larger cap crypto market, the projects that are well-funded and stand out seem to perform quite well in the pre-sale market. The past doesn't guarantee the same results will follow, but there's no doubt that the greatest returns in crypto have gone to those who were active during downturns, not to those who aped in at the top of uptrends. We're extremely optimistic about the crypto market and the role of the Vetter ecosystem and launchpads. We plan to hold a live update as soon as the website is completed. I'll share the news as soon as we have it. So great news about that. And then also two articles came out, which is pretty awesome. One on Yahoo Finance, Vetter to launch incubator with 2 distinct launch pads, transforming crypto and raising the bar in DeFi. You know, if you've been tuning into these sessions, you know we always talk about how in Vetter we're literally raising the bar, we're changing the game, and to see that information on Yahoo Finance is pretty cool. FinTechly had an article about us how using AI gives a better understanding of the crypto market. We just talked about AI. And here we are. Here is a FinTechly, a company that there's an article on about how Vetter, okay, is impacting that space and how the data that we have on the platform and how all of that works together to, in the end, support the community, support the users, and support investors. So today's topic we're going to talk about is what to look out for leading into a pre-sale. Now, if you've been following along over the last handful of sessions, we've been taking a progressive approach, okay? So, one session will prepare you for the next session, which builds upon the previous session, okay? So we talked about how to familiarize yourself with the Vetter platform. That was out I think last week. Earlier this week, we talked about what are the certain secrets, quote unquote secrets, hidden secrets to look for when you're looking at projects, whether that be is a team doxed or not, whether that be do they have an audit, whether that be, what is the website, the quality of the website, different things that you're going to notice looking at time and time again, what actually makes a difference with these projects that you're getting into. And today we're taking it a step further. And what are we going to be looking for as we're headed into a pre-sale? Okay. So we've done our due diligence. We've researched our projects. We know exactly where we're headed. Okay, we know the projects we want to get into, and now is the time to jump in because the pre-sale is getting ready to go live. Okay, so that's where we are now. So let's go ahead and let's see if we can, this is totally random, okay, totally random, but let's see if we can find maybe, just maybe, a pre-sale that's happening today, and maybe it's happening right now, and maybe we could take a look at it. Okay, this is tonight. Let's see here. Okay, the pre-sale was yesterday for this one, but the launch, we can go ahead and take a look at both of these just to get an idea of sometimes there's delays. Maybe we can get lucky and we can see here. Let's see, where was it? Okay, DXL. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if things are still okay. So pre-sale was live on Gympad, not DXL. And I've noticed, I don't know if you guys have noticed this as well, but this week, this is the third or fourth project that I've seen that is launching on Gympad. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but it's always worth looking at trends, following trends. And so, like I said, this is the third or fourth project I've seen this week that actually is launching on Gympad. And so I personally don't have experience on Gympad, but I would venture to say that DXL, PinkCell, there's some similarities between them. And the overall concept is the same, and it's just packaged differently. Okay, so the overall concept is the same. It's just packaged differently. So what I mean by that is, here's Gympad. These are projects that are launching. Okay, and so we can go over here to PinkCell. And here are projects that are launching. Okay, again, remember, it's a general idea, same concept, and there's just some similarities and some differences. Okay, but you have like the menu here over on the left, the project's down here in the middle. When you click on a project, it's going to take you to the information. This one says that this is a fair launch. I want to see let's see if we can find actually, let's not explore on Gympad. Let's go to what we know, since we're live right now. So let's find a pre-sale that is currently active. Okay. Okay. So what we're doing is, again, to get you caught up, if you followed along, we started the series by breaking down how to familiarize yourself with the platform. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, definitely check it out in our Vetter University. You'll be able to find that video there and familiarize yourself with the platform. So now you're at a place where you've been watching a project for the last week or so. Okay, you've been in their Telegram, you've been asking questions, you've been looking at what's going on, getting a feel for your criteria, the things that you're looking for, the things that you deem important, like what we talked about last week. Is the team doxed, and what's the website look like, and has there been an audit? What kind of audit? Was it a Surtech audit? Have they done AMAs? What's the activity level in the Telegram? Is it vibrant? Are people asking questions? Is it real people? Are they botted? Okay, all those factors. Okay, you've now come to the point where, like, hey, you know what? I like this project. This is actually a fair launch. I like this project. I want to get into it. Okay, let me find a actual pre-sale. Here we go. Now we're talking. This is perfect. Perfect example. Okay, let's just see if this is on the platform. Let's just take this one step further. Here we go. Okay, things just got real. All right. so you found this project on the platform. Okay, my example is even better. Okay, you found this project on the platform, last week. You were doing your research, okay, and you stumbled across it and you saw that it was scouted, and you're like, okay, let me check out the information. Okay, this is the basic information provided by the scout. Okay, you hopped in their Telegram group, You've been doing the research, and now the time has come. The time has come for the pre-sale to start. Okay. What is important? Okay. What are some great things to be looking for? What are some things that would be a red flag? Okay. Go ahead and drop in the comments some of the things that you're looking for and some of the things that are a red flag for you. And as you're dropping those, I will be going over this project right here. Okay. So right here, the pre-sale started on the 16th. Okay. So it's been running for a handful of days now. It's been running for 3 days, and it's going to run for another 3 days and 12 hours. Right off the bat, I don't like that. Here's my reason why. I believe that long, drawn out pre-sales kind of like pours water on your fire. Okay, it kind of makes the wood wet. It's like, I mean, why? Why draw it out? Why have a long, drawn out pre-sale when a short pre-sale can create hype, it can create demand, it can create scarcity, it creates FOMO, and people want to get in. Okay, so let's look at the Telegram group. So right off the bat, I'm a little concerned because we have 35,000 members. Let me just join the group, see what happens. 35,000 members, and they've only raised, what, 361 BNB, 361 in like the last couple of days. Now it is over 777 contributors, but still, that's just a fraction of the Telegram group. Okay, which, what is the result of 5 plus 2? Oh, I better answer. Okay, good. What? Did I not answer it quick enough? Oh, okay. Okay, maybe they'll let me in eventually. Oh, hey, I'm in it. I made it, guys. Congrats. Okay, so the right away, it's a little concerning to me to see this how big this group is. Okay, it's a little concerning because that's a lot of people, and since it's so much people and only 777 of them have contributed, that's super concerning to me. Now, don't get me wrong, they have raised 361, which is decent, but they're going to get to raise another 90 to hit their soft cap. Okay, so what are we thinking about? Okay, let's say that this project looked great. You've done your due diligence. Okay, you've said, hey, you know what? I like this project. I want to get into it. Okay, we're not right now. We're going to treat this project like it's a gym. Okay, like it's a level 10. Like this is it. You believe in it. You're all on board. It checks all your boxes. Okay, we're going to look at it like that first. Then we're going to look at it like it is. Fair? Okay. So it checks all your boxes. They're answering questions. They've been in voice chat. Okay. They've been answering people's questions. They're running voice chat the whole time they're doing the pre-sub because they're excited. They're answering the community's questions. They're doing all the right things. Okay. You've seen the marketing plan. You've seen the excitement, and you're like, hey, I want to do this project. Okay. You get to have for a pre-sale, you get to have all of your research done and ready to pull the trigger the moment the pre-sale goes live. Okay, not I'll wait to see what happens. Okay, do your due diligence for as long as it takes. But the moment it goes live, you want to be ready. Okay, you want to be ready. Okay, so what that means is if there's a lot of hype and excitement around this project and people are excited to get into it, this pre-sale has the potential to fill very quickly. When I say fill, I'm like fill up quickly. Okay, the way this works is they're wanting to raise 944 BNB. They have a soft cap of 472 BNB. Okay, so they want to raise 944, which is the hard cap. The minimum that they have to raise, the minimum that they get to raise is 472. Okay, if they raise 472, the project will likely proceed to go launch. Okay, unless they cancel for some reason. Okay, but if they raise this number, they can launch. If they don't raise this number, the pre-sale will be canceled and they'll go back to the drawing board and they should update Telegram and let you know, hey, we've changed our soft cap and hard cap, okay? What I'm getting at though, is if this is a project that you like, you believe in, it checks all your boxes, you're excited, they've done a good job, you know there's hype, you know there's a lot of excitement, be ready to contribute the moment it goes live. Okay, let me say this with an asterisk as well. When I say contribute, I'm covering two bases. Those of you who are paper trading, those of you who are in the game. Okay, let me put it like this. If you're in the game trading, you already know exactly what to do here. So let me say for the people who are paper trading, this is where you would treat it seriously, as if you're putting real money in. You would show up, you'd be ready to contribute, and you would go through the motions, you would document this process, okay? If this is making sense, give me a thumbs up. I wanna make sure that this is clear what I'm saying. You wanna treat it seriously as you're paper trading. Why? Because you're treating it as if you were putting money on the line. There's no difference. You show up to the pre-sale, you're ready to contribute, you're ready to go. And the moment that it goes live, you say, okay, hey, great. You go to your document where you're paper trading, you say, hey, you know, I contributed 0.1, you know, whatever. You're okay. And now you're in it. Okay. The reason I'm stressing this about being ready to pull the trigger when it's time to go, projects that have done a really good job of marketing the project, creating hype, creating demand, creating that idea of scarcity and FOMO, sell out very quickly. Okay? Sometimes within seconds, sometimes within a few minutes. Okay? Projects that have done a decent job look like this. Here's 361 BNB. You know, this is more than some other projects have done. You know, they still have a handful of days. They will likely hit their soft cap, okay? What I'm getting at though is the moment you show up to the live sell, okay, the pre-sale, live sell, it's live. You need to be ready to take action. The speculation is gone at this point. You're ready to pull a trigger because if you hesitate and you want to wait to see if it fills up, it can fill up before you pull the trigger. Okay, it can fill up before you pull the trigger. So do your due diligence before you get there. Now, someone might say, well, Ryan, isn't that risky? What if they don't hit the soft cap? That's great news if they don't hit the soft cap because your money is refunded. Okay, you get your money back, but at least you got on a seat on the bus. The rocket ship may not take off, but at least you got in. Some people think it's risky to go ahead and jump into the pre-sale. I personally think it's risky to not. I would rather get a seat on the bus because I've already done my due diligence and I know I'm ready to go and just go ahead and get my seat, then wait to see what happens and people get in front of me and they get a seat before me. That's my personal experience. You can apply your own personal experience here. If you would rather wait to see how quickly it fills, okay, maybe it could fill up before you're there. And as Justin's saying, if for whatever reason something happens and you want to pull your money out, you can pull it out with like a small fee. I think it's like 10% or something. It's like an emergency withdrawal. Okay, it's something. It's not the end of the world. But what I want to stress is, it's such a waste if you've done all your due diligence and now you want to see how quickly the pre-sale fills up. What happens when it fills up before you can pull the trigger? Whoa, you know, why do all that work, but then just wait instead of jumping in? Why do all the research and just wait to watch other people jump in? My own personal opinion, do what you want to do. Okay. Now I will say something about buying pressure. Okay. People talk about, well, I want to make sure there's buying pressure. Okay. I want to make sure there's buying pressure. So I've watched a handful of projects cancel their pre-sales because they didn't hit their soft cap multiple times. They finally hit their hard cap on much lower numbers and still do a 2x at launch. I personally have not been able to see buying pressure as a means of how pre-sale works on PinkCell. Really good teams will have different marketing efforts at different stages of their launch. Okay, teams will have the pre-sale marketing. Teams will have the time between, when the pre-sale ends and when the actual launch takes place. Okay, there will be a launch campaign that's happening at that point. So let's say that they raised 944 BNB and they're not going to launch until tomorrow, so 24 hours later. There could be a campaign going on for the next 24 hours, raising money. Raising interest in the project, adding new people to the Telegram. Do you realize that some people don't even know that the pre-sale market exists? They don't even know that you can buy it before other people. It's pretty wild to think that. I was one of those people. Embarrassingly enough, when I first got into the community, I didn't understand the pre-sale concept, and I was the guy who was buying at launch. When it went on Pancake Swap, that meant it was time for me to buy. Like, that was me. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. So there are people out there like that. And there's campaigns that are targeting people like that. Influencer campaigns, for example. Okay, influencer may have gotten in at a pre-sale. Influencer may have gotten in for getting free tokens, but an influencer could be promoting the launch, not the actual pre-sale. So personally, how this works out doesn't tell me much about what it's going to look on launch day. It just tells me how much people are interested in it during the pre-sale phase. Fair enough? These are things that you'll learn as you're documenting, doing your paper trading, doing your volume of launches. You'll learn these things through the patterns and through the notes that you're taking. Justin shared, Web3 is a project similar to this. It had like a 10-day pre-sale, 10 days. Okay, it raised, let's see, let's just, instead of talking about it, let's be about it. Let's look. The Web3, oh, that's not it. Okay. Oh, wait, there we go. I think this is it. Yes, this is it. Okay, let me grab the contract. Let me show you exactly what I mean. This is a perfect example of don't judge pre-sale hype and demand and buy pressure. Okay, so they had 3 canceled pre-sales. We're going to look at all these projects here. The first one looks like they just made a mistake and they just canceled it right away. This one, this is what I love, guys. Like, this is what I love about this. They were going to run the pre-sale for 10 days. 10 days. Oh my goodness, that's such a long time. Why? They raised 153 BNB after like 4 or 6 days. 4 or 6 days, they raised 153 BNB. This was a project that had a lot of excitement. A lot of people were interested in the project. They only raised 153 BNB. Why? Because this long pre-sale, people had no incentive and reason to buy now. Why put your money in today when nothing's going to happen for it for 10 days? Why have your money locked up for 10 days? A long pre-sale, in my opinion, slows down the process. It dwarfs the process. It makes it so much longer and laborious than it actually needs to be. There's no hype. There's no excitement. Here's what happened when they switched to a fair launch. Now, keep in mind, think about this. 153 BNB raised in 6 days. They canceled because they were nowhere close to their soft cap. They changed their strategy and they did what's called a fair launch. They raised 6,000 BNB. Okay, now they still had a 4-day pre-sale. Or a fair launch. I find that kind of silly, but it is what it is. But they raised 6,000. Same project, same marketing, same stuff. They only could raise 153, and then they shifted their strategy and they raised 6,000. What am I saying in all this? I'm simply saying you cannot always judge launch hype. Okay, launch hype. So Justin's pointing out 311 contributors for 153 BNB and 4,300 contributors for the fair launch. Okay. What I'm saying with this example is I would rather you paper trade and document what you see about what you see going on with what you see going on with the pre-sale filling up or not. Okay. I would strongly encourage, don't buy into a story around no buying pressure or little buying pressure. Don't buy into it. Look at your data, look at your numbers, and see what happens at launch on what buying pressure, where buying pressure is or isn't. Look at that stuff. Okay. This is a perspective. This is not the perspective of the marketing going on. Okay. Marketing can happen at different stages. Marketing can happen before the pre-sale. Marketing can happen during the pre-sale. Marketing can happen between the pre-sale and the actual launch of the project. And then marketing can happen once the project launches. Different stages. I mean, look at Vetter. Vetter has done the same thing. There's different stages for the different seasons and phases that we're going into with our launches. Okay. If this is making sense, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so I know that we're all on the same page. And feel free to ask a question or unmute if you have a question about what we're covering so far. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Lots of thumbs ups. So again, one of the things, and this is why I bring this up. Okay. The reason I constantly bring up, document it and see what happens, because our own subjectivity, our own opinions can keep us from pulling the trigger on projects that our data tells us to do. Okay. Let me say that again. Your individual subjectivity can keep you from pulling the trigger on projects that already check your boxes. Okay. So don't let that emotion or things kick in. Document it and know what can happen over a volume of trades, a volume of launches. Okay. I've watched multiple projects cancel pre-sales because they didn't hit the soft cap over and over again, and then launch and end up doing a 2x. And we didn't get in those projects because, quote unquote, there was no buying pressure. That's silly. Okay. So don't be silly. Okay. Look at it from a statistics and data perspective. Okay. Now, we've talked a little bit about this project, Gnome Mines. It's on the calendar. It's a pre-sale. We haven't looked at it. We will look at this project. So someone asked the other day in chat, hey, can we actually, paper trade a project together? It just so happens, ladies and gentlemen, that Gnome Mines is a project we're going to paper trade together. Okay. It just so happens that it's on the calendar. It's a pre-sales happening right now. It's just a win-win. This is a great one for us to paper trade and watch what happens. Okay. Now, one thing to consider with pre-sales, sometimes there is a whitelist. Okay. What that means is the project, the Telegram project, maybe they have had special giveaways or some kind of contest, and they've given a whitelist spot. That means that in Pink Cell, only people who have their wallet whitelisted can contribute. And that may last for a day or a couple hours. Okay. And once they've raised a certain amount of BNB for the whitelist, or once it's been open for a certain period of time, then it's open up to the public. Okay. So if you're ever looking at a project and it says whitelist on it, that means, let's see if we can just find one. Again, instead of talking about it, let's be about it. Nope. Nope. I was hoping there's going to be a filter for whitelist, but there's not. And okay, we'll just go carry on. So what it's going to say here is it's going to say whitelist, and the only people who can contribute for that time frame are the people who whitelisted their wallets, and that's done through the team. Maybe a contest that you want, or maybe some whitelists were given away or something like that. Okay, and you have a smaller window to contribute. Okay, but it'll say, whitelist, and since your wallet is connected to this and your wallet was whitelisted, you'll be able to contribute. Okay, so that's how that works. After that window is closed, it's then open to the public, and we'll say public right here, and then anybody can contribute. Okay, right here it says what the minimum contribution is. So this project is a 0.1. Sometimes it is a point. Sometimes it is a 0.2. Sometimes it is a 0.5. It just depends. Okay. And sometimes there's different max buys. Sometimes it's 1 BNB. Sometimes it's 10 BNBs. This one's 5 BNB. Okay. Justin so graciously sent us a whitelist only pre-sale. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. So this says sell type whitelist only. Okay. So the pre-sale is going to start in 2 days and 17 hours. The only way we're going to be able to participate in this initially is if our wallet is whitelisted. Okay. Once that timer has run out, let's see if it says, no, there'll be a timer up here for the whitelist. Okay. There'll be a timer up here that says something about like whitelist pre-sale for a specific time. And then it'll open up to the public. Okay. So once this timer is done and all whitelist participants had their opportunity to contribute, this one is a minimum of a 0.1. This one max is a 2. Once it switches over, it will then say public, and then anybody can contribute to max out the contribution there, or max out the sell there. Okay, so that's how the whitelist stuff works. Okay, now one of the things that I wanted to bring on Justin Metalride. He is a fantastic scout who's doing some great things in the community. And one of the things that that Justin is really good at, same thing with Paul Brink. One of the things that they are both phenomenal at is the tokenomics, reading the tokenomics, understanding the tokenomics, and so what in the distribution that you can see on PinkCell, okay, Tokenmetrics. They are really good at that. And so I wanted to bring on Justin so he could share his thoughts on what he looks for, why certain things are important, why certain things are questionable or would be red flags when you're looking at the token metrics on PinkCell for these different projects. So Justin, if you're there and you're able to unmute, feel free to hop on and we'll talk about token metrics.
Hey guys.
Hey brother, how are you?
I'm great.
Awesome.
So this particular project, I actually looked at scouting this about an hour before this call came on, and then I realized that Lorraine had posted it there. So it's kind of a cool looking project. One of the things that I looked at here is the amount of locked tokens. Anytime that there's a ring that is a more dominant in color than another, I want to know what that's all about and why. So
right.
Those token metrics that are displayed there, I would bring to the Telegram group, and I would ask a ton of questions as to why. Why is there so many locked tokens, and for what reason do they have? There could be multiple reasons. Some of them could be for rebasing, for instance, where they need to either do some buybacks or just try and stable out the project a little bit more as it moves forward. That's definitely, they will answer.
Have you already asked this question?
I haven't. No.
Okay.
I haven't. So yeah. Now that also could be perhaps for team vesting. They could be vesting over a long period of time, which is a bonus.
Right.
having trouble opening Pink Sale right now.
Yeah, so we have
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's quite a bit looks like that are being released within the next month, but not enough that would probably make a big impact.
yeah, just like
Um,
little chunks here and there. And there's a
yeah,
bigger one here on in June. You have
yeah, that could
5.4
be
million there.
that could be marketing. So they're all different There's a bunch of different walls. So there could be a lot of marketing. And again, I'll bet you there's some sort of buyback or rebasing, and that which will say up higher in the pre-sale start and finish time area there. Oh, maybe not. If there is rebasing in the token, they will list it there normally.
Yeah. So the first thing you said was if you see one area that is more dominant than the others right away, that's going to bring up questions. So whether that was is it better to see like even splits, even percentages amongst the different areas, or is it always worth asking when one is more dominant?
Every single project I've ever been in, I will always ask them to explain the tokenomics, even if it's as clear as day in the
Yeah.
white paper or in their Telegram group, because they, first of all, they always change. So
Yes.
once the white paper is released, very rarely does it ever stay the same by the time that it launches. So I want clarity on all of that and to explain where everything's going. Buy sell taxes are always changing. The unlocked tokens clearly, obviously, is a big issue. Now, Pink Sale does not recognize rebase uh, tokens, so they they are normally unlocked. So you'll get that answer a lot. So
Yeah.
then, if that's the case, you definitely got to dive a little deeper into that to make sure that that is the case. That why they're all unlocked tokens.
Right.
Um,
Okay. So
Usually,
what?
the white paper speaks to this pretty clearly, and on the projects. And if there is something that doesn't quite jive, then I definitely ask, and make sure you're not asking, mods or admin, because they don't always know 100% either. You just want to make sure you're asking the team, which you can kind of find out from the website who is the dev or an owner CEO, and they're usually relatively active in projects.
Right.
Now, this project does have a few concerns as far as the team goes that I noticed. I did look at the team here. They have some LinkedIn profiles, but just because they have LinkedIn profiles and and pictures doesn't mean that they're docs. When you go
Right.
onto the team's uh, LinkedIn profile. For instance, the CEO, like when you go to his LinkedIn profile, he's looking the other way. So you're seeing the back of his head. Like I'm not really sure how well that is. And then you got to go through and look at the history. I mean, the game developer here on this game is a developer who just freelances games and builds them and will sell them to anybody. So how invested is he in the project?
Yeah.
So just because they have LinkedIn profiles doesn't mean they're doxed.
Right.
You kind of go through that. So, but taking the names from here and going into Telegram and try to ask those specific people those questions that you have concerns for.
Yeah. So when you ask them specifically, would you just tag them in the main chat?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
I will go into the top where it explains or says the group name and then search members. Type, paste their name into there, see if they come up, and yeah,
Yep. Right
there they
here.
are. Yeah, and see if they come up, and at least start there. They're
Right.
pretty unique. They're pretty unique names, so they won't be John Smiths.
Right.
Yeah, they should be there.
Did I spell that right? Batista. Batista. Okay. Let's try another one. Sarwar. Actually, I guess it could be helpful if I actually pick some people that are more likely to be in the chat.
Yeah, marketing or something.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's use your head, Ryan. Let's see here. Where's our marketing? Head of marketing. Okay, I don't see anything. We'll try Danilo. There we go. Danilo. Danilo. Is that him? Whoops. They keep moving on. Wesley. Wesley. Okay. But I get what you're saying to be able to connect with them that way. So what would be a really concerning red flag if you're looking for, when you're looking at the Tokenmetrics, what would be something that would be like, oh my goodness, like what is going on here? Like they better answer this question really, really good, or like I'm out right now.
Well, definitely speaking to the unlocked tokens for sure.
Yeah. So unlocked.
And yeah, that's a big one. That's the first. I'm always looking for that yellow color on there to. I mean, if there's one where it's just massive, and unfortunately, I saw one the other day where it was over 3/4 unlocked.
Oh wow.
And I should have written it down because that was ridiculous. They had just the most ridiculous answers for me. Shoot, I don't remember what it was, but this looks pretty good. I'm not sure which project this is, but this one here looks pretty good. It's a
This is the one you sent me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So when looking at a project, I mean, I normally find the whitelisted projects actually are definitely a little bit more worth looking at first. So I like that. So then I'd scroll down to see if the whitelist wallets are actually added yet. A lot of the times they are. I don't see them there yet.
Yeah. So there would be like would there be a special tab here?
Yeah. Yes. Right below that graph, it says whitelist wallets, and it lists every whitelisted wallet at that time. The teams are constantly adding the whitelist as competitions close and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, looking at that chart there, I like that. That looks pretty good. I would want to, before asking in the Telegram, take that now and look at the white paper tokenomics, make sure they kind of add up. They look the same.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things that Paul talks a lot about is making sure that the tokenomics in the white paper are in alignment with what the tokenmetrics on Pinksale.
Yeah. And reasons I find for that is because the whitelist could have been out a couple months ago, and this could have just been launched just recently. I use a Telegram group called Pinksale Bots, and it actually lists the second any project is ever added to Pinksale.
Oh, that's nice. That's great.
Yeah. So you can see how old this has been, like in the Pinksale system for, and then that gives you an idea of how much time after the white sale and the website's been hosted and et cetera. Yeah. So if they do line up, I'd still probably have a few questions about, there's a lot of pre-sale color there. Is that going to be used for some of the marketing? What is that money going to be allocated for? We know team vesting is obviously listed. That's a very small. The lock. Basically, I'd ask kind of what the pre-sale and what the lock tokens, they make up 3/4 of the tokenomics there.
Right.
Explain that to me. If the marketing is there, what's your marketing plan? That's a lot of tokens.
Yeah.
What's your marketing plan?
Now that I'm thinking about this, Justin, so me being really heavy on the auditing side, I look at a lot of projects after the fact. Okay. And so that's when the picture is really clear. But, something I just thought of. So I originally had said, when people are going to participate in a pre-sale, do your due diligence before it's time to pull the trigger. Okay. So as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm thinking like, wait, if you can find the project on Pinksale, go ahead and look at the Tokenmetrics in advance and get your questions answered before it's time to pull the trigger, guys. Like, be proactive about that.
Yeah, that should be one of the most important things, in my opinion, to the project.
Definitely.
It basically speaks to the nuts and bolts of the project,
Right.
and that's absolutely some of the most important. As important as making sure you're on pinksale.finance and not a scam site. That's the
Right.
second most important thing.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. So just make a note of that, guys, that like the moment you can find their pink cell, and Justin, what was the name of the telegram that you followed to get that information? Pink cell bot. Perfect. Pink cell dot bot. Yeah. So that way you have plenty of time to do your due diligence, get your questions answered, compare and contrast Tokenmetrics and the Tokenomics on the white paper, and you're not doing it with the 5-minute countdown. You're doing it when there's plenty of time to do your due diligence and research. So perfect. Now, one of the things I did want to bring up is this is just something to be mindful of. A minute ago, I had showed that there were 3 different pre-sale links for Web3. Okay. There are 3 different ones for Web3. And what I want you guys to be really clear on is when you put a contract in here. So when you put the Web3 contract, let's see if I can find it. I don't remember how I found it last time. Yeah, like this. Okay, so look, check this out. This is the pre-sale address. This is not the contract. Okay, this number right here is this number right here. Okay, this is just the link for the pre-sale. Okay, this right here is the token address. This right here is the address that you would post or paste into your wallet, into PooCoin to find a chart and things like that. Okay. When you go over here on PinkCell and you click Launchpad List, you paste this in here, it's going to show you all the pre-sales that have happened for that project. Okay, so you can kind of get a history of like what's gone on with the project. That can also be part of your due diligence. Maybe they didn't talk about a failed pre-sale, or maybe they didn't talk about XYZ. You're able to do some due diligence here to look at and research that. But let's take it a step further and just answer yes or no in the chat. Okay. Let's say this is a really common name. Let's just say it was like Apple. Okay. And we type in Apple here and we end up seeing 4 different pre-sales for Apple. But when we view it, it's a different contract. Okay, the example that I'm using, this is all the same project. For me, I would be very concerned and curious about why every time a pre-sale cancels, they're changing the contract address. Okay, there was a project that we were looking at a few months back. I forget what it was. It was something with a banana and maybe with an ape and like something. and every time they canceled the pre-sale, the contract address changed. And then even by the time they launched, it was another contract and it ended up being a rug pull. Now, I'm not saying that could have been avoided. I am saying that I would think that there's got to be a reason to keep changing your contract. And that would just be a concern for me. And so that's one of the questions I would ask. I would just be like, hey, why do you keep changing your contract? What's going on? Why do you keep changing it? That would just make me very curious about what's going on. Okay. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Is that something that would bother you? Is that something that you would even pick up on or notice? Or is that something that like, oh, now that you know, that's super helpful to watch out for? Justin said, if the contract is done on the website, only take it from the pinned message or pinned pink cell, then always check it in BSC scan. Absolutely. Making sure we have the right contract. Okay. Making sure that we're sharing the right information all the time. Okay. So yeah, so with that, the example that I'm giving out is, let's say that Gnome Mines canceled their pre-sale right now, and in their Telegram, they give a new pink cell link Okay, so everything straight from the source. Okay, and now it's a different contract address. Okay, that's the example. I may have muddied the waters in that example earlier, talking about searching Apple. I apologize. What I'm trying to say is legit pink cell links coming from the legit project that constantly change. I would be like, whoa, what's going on? Why are you doing that? Like, there's got to be some legitimate reason for that. Okay. So we got about 5 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions before we roll into kind of a part two into the claiming process? If no one has any questions, actually, because we're going to paper trade this one, because we asked to look at one to paper trade, and then we all can take a look at it. Let's just go ahead and look at it real quick. We're going to do a 5 minute a 5 minute vetting, okay, which means we're going to be laser, but we're all about like, does this check a box? Okay, so right off the bat, I like the website. I think it's really cool. There was time and energy put into this website. There's good design, good details. So what I want to see is, oh, there's beta. Is it, Justin? Is the beta actually functioning? Okay, perfect. Yeah, Justin's going to do an actual vet today. So like, I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Like we're seeing that there's actually pictures. Oh, this is great. I love me some pictures, and I also love me some pictures that are consistent and congruent. Okay. Okay, no gameplay currently. Okay, so there's effort. There's been time spent on this on the design side. There's energy being put into how it looks. Here's the team that Justin was talking about in LinkedIn profiles, partners. Okay, so we got solid proof. Handful of socials. There's a Discord as well. I'll check that out. KYC, CoinScope, audit through solid proof. Okay, so we got a couple things checked there. Now, to Justin's point, let's look at the team real quick. There's not much going on here with the team. Okay, we have their names. Okay, we have their LinkedIn. They have their title, but like, I want to know like what they're about, what they're doing. What are they actually bringing to the table? Not just he's a CEO. That's great. Congratulations, you made it, my friend. But what are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for the project? Okay. So it looks like the team is kind of younger, just based on these avatars. It looks like they're younger, but I want to know what prior projects have they done? What's the past experience? Okay. There is a KYC. There is audit. That's good. Let's hop into, again, let's go back here. Let's see if there's any voice chat. We're talking about Discord there. Okay, AMA. We will schedule an AMA for the global channel, even if we find a YouTube that wants to do an AMA. Okay. Any AMA before launch. Okay, so there's not a lot of chat on AMAs. I know I'm bouncing around, but so let's go scroll all the way up to see that there was like what, 15, 16 pin messages. First one was February 16th. Okay, so the group is a handful of months old. Not a lot of stuff going on in the early days, but again, 35,000 members. I would imagine, as Justin was saying, this is probably highly botted. It just would have to be 777 people. Okay, 777 people, but like who've contributed out of 35,000. It's like, come on. Let's type a hi. See how many highs we got. We got a lot of highs here. Yeah, so not a lot here. And so a minute ago I did say audit, and I said that briefly. So when I'm looking at projects, I kind of have like some scoring systems in my mind. Certec is a higher scoring system, and a non-Certec is a low scoring system. So just for clarification, I did acknowledge that they had an audit, but I would be a lot more excited if it was a Surtech audit. As Justin's saying, your solid proof is only $800 and it's completed in 24 hours. So, hey, you compare that to Surtech, which costs a lot of money, way different experiences. Okay. So Telegram age, it's a couple months old, doing good. It doesn't have a lot of pinned messages considering how old it is. I also didn't see any AMAs pinned, nor did I see any voice chat conversations going on. So let me check YouTube real quick. Gnome Mines. So we got a couple YouTube videos, which I like to see this. This to me speaks that they're spending money before the launch. Okay. It doesn't mean this is great and everything is good. It just means that they are spending money before the launch. They're paying some people to do some stuff. Okay. Some of these, I mean, there's not a ton of views, but like there is some activity. I like to see that. Next thing, Telegram, is it vibrant? I mean, it's okay. There's a handful of questions. I mean, my answer was, they did answer me, that said the reasons why tokens, what? Oh, he said blocked. Maybe that's just a typo. This information is on our white paper. So he just wants me to read the white paper when I ask that question. Next thing would be hype. I mean, from this perspective, I think there is a level of hype here. Okay. I think that there's a level of hype because there's 362 BNB that's been raised. We looked at another project that 150 was raised in 6 days. And, so like, I think it's pretty likely that this will hit. I like the website. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. The designs do line up to what was on the white paper, and I can appreciate that. It just feels good. Like this is not like a super polished project like what we would see with an IDO, but it does have a similar feel to what Petaverse. And I'm not an expert on what Petaverse was, but just the overall feel and vibe that I get, it is a similar one on the design side, but Petaverse had a lot more things going for it. So if I were to, my 2 cents on the project, I like it. I would definitely watch it. I'd personally probably take a swing at it. I think this is a tier below Petaverse, maybe a couple tiers, but some of the ones that can fly under the radar don't get as many people who like to dump. And if there's a lot of people who are core to play the game, this could be a good thing, at launch, if a lot of people don't dump and has some time to actually go up. So that's my 2 cents on the project. Does anybody else want to unmute real quick? If you've been looking at this project, what are some thoughts that you had on this project? Feel free to hop on and share your thoughts, or drop it in the comment section. Justin said the same thing, close to Petaverse, and that's why he keeps data on these types of projects. And so if you don't know, Justin Melleride, these types of projects are his bread and butter. But yeah, Justin, feel free to share just quick 1 minute on what you like about the project and what you feel it's missing.
Yeah, so I was wanting to say Petaverse before you did. It's the first vibe I got the second that I started looking at this project. Yeah, and I was a big fan of Petaverse. I vetted that project and I'm still in that, loving it. This project, yes, exactly, is a couple notches down the ladder from Petaverse. I like the graphics. I like the white paper. It's a great white paper. They put some time into that. I do believe there's a bit of hype there. I do believe it is totally botted.
Yeah.
I think there will be buying pressure. I am going to vet this project. It's 2:00 here for me, so I'm going to do that this afternoon here once we jump off the call. Nice. I don't like the fact that the team is not doxxed. I don't care what they say; they're not doxxed. The audit is basic. I mean, it's driving a Cavalier. I'd rather drive a Cadillac with something like a Certec or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is certainly a project that I'll be watching. And yeah, hopefully something comes of it here.
Awesome. Hey, thank you for sharing your feedback and wisdom on the Tokenmetrics, and also thanks for sharing your thoughts on this game. And again, just so you guys know, this is his bread and butter. These types of projects that he looks for. He's collected a lot of data on these things, and this is, again, we our job and our ability is not in like, oh, hey, this is the next 2x, this is the next 10x. It's literally what we just did. We're talking about the things we like, the things we dislike, and that can support you on whether or not you want to take a swing. The fact of the matter is, if the things that we like and we take a swing, 10 times, and 6 out of 10 times we get a 2x or more, it's all a numbers game at that point, where you just take a swing every time it checks your boxes. If it meets your criteria, you take a swing. And it's not necessarily about processing yourself in and out. It's about checking the boxes. And if that means a fully doxed team, that checks a box. If that means a Certec audit, that checks a box. And that way, it doesn't matter if the project is successful or not. You know that over a volume of launches, if you swing the bat 10 times, you know that you're going to connect 7 times or 6 times or 8 times. And all you're following is whether the project checks the boxes or not. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions before we hop off? I was glad that we were able to find this project, launching on the calendar. There's a lot of good things about this project, guys. The fact that there's still 3 days for you to do your due diligence. Again, someone was asking for a project for us to paper trade together. This right here is great. Okay, you got Meloride sharing his thoughts and insights into the type of project that he gets in all the time. We have plenty of time to do our research and due diligence, plenty of time to ask questions in their Telegram, plenty of time to ask questions in our own Telegram to see what people are seeing and finding. Okay, and to what Justin said again, he said, whether this project is going to launch and have a successful launch or it tanks, guess what? There's always another project on the calendar. And that's the beauty of the Vetter platform and Crowdx calendar. It's not about having to hit a grand slam on this one. It's about consistently getting in projects that check your boxes, and over time, you will win. So I hope this call was helpful today. Feel free to hop in Telegram and share what your biggest takeaway was, or even bring up the project. Gnome Mines, I think that's what it was. Yeah, Gnome Mines. Bring up the project in Telegram. See if anybody else has any eyeballs on it. See what their thoughts are and see what they like about it. So with that, we'll be back on Tuesday, same time, same place. And I will end, like my mentor always says, life can be short. So for those that you care and love, let them know you care and love them. Hey, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of the community, and look forward to next week, next month, and beyond. With that being said, again, my name's Ryan. Thanks for taking some time out, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.